What's up, everybody? Josh Armijo here. I hope everybody's doing good and well and stuff. I got an Arsenal inventory update to do for you guys. Vinyl this time. And seeing as how last week I did a video mostly centered around death metal stuff, it's time to get cult and genuinely true with some black metal this time around. I got some releases from 2017, a release from years past, and some undisputed classics within the genre. And this first record I'm going to show you is something that I talked about here on this channel a couple of months ago. And yeah, these guys are from Laredo, Texas, and they are definitely making a lot of noise. This is Venereal Baptism with Deviant Castigation Liturgy. Yeah. Released in 2017 through Osmos Productions. I'm not really going to say too much than what I have already said in my previous review of this album, but what I will tell you is that it is an absolute blast to listen to. This band has really come a long way from their previous EP material, and they have a very intriguing approach to black metal. Pretty much when it comes to lyrics, quality, visual imagery, sound, and stage presence. This is a really solid band, and this album has a bunch of solid stuff to listen to. Centuries of Wrath, The Winds of Nullification, Death March of Glory. Such a fun track. And I had the privilege of getting to see this band live earlier this year with Angel Corpse. They were awesome to watch, and I'm going to be seeing them again hopefully in November. So hopefully more great things will be coming from this band in the future. So yeah, here's the front cover. Love this artwork. I love the foil embossment on the jacket here. There you see it on the Venereal Baptism logo here. Back cover, more badass artwork. Osmos Productions, more foil embossment here. Very good job done here with the packaging. You got a printed inner sleeve here with some lyrics. On this side you got more lyrics and credits and band member photos. And I got this directly from the band, and I was lucky enough to get the color variant because I believe this is limited to 500 copies, and this was on a white vinyl with black splatter. Looks great and sounds great too. Definitely a bang-up job done with this record. So get this record however you're able to, get the CD however you're able to. I still think this is a very fun and formidable release for 2017, and definitely continuing to fly the flag for Texas black metal. So yeah. It's Venereal Baptism with Deviant Castigation Liturgy. Go check this out. From Texas, we move to Finland for another 2017 release, and this one is of the quite provocative nature. This is Saloon Viholinen with Ruhon Kantaja. Yeah. Probably butchered that, but hey, shit happens. Yeah, anywho. This is another 2017 release put out through Darker Than Black Records, and I remember watching my very good friend Kevin Loza do one of his vinyl collection updates from a couple of months ago, and one of the records that I saw him talk about was something that he said that he really seemed to be enjoying, and that band in question was Saloon Viholinen. And by the way he talked about it, it made me very curious and interested to hear what this band was all about, so I looked up what he was talking about, in addition to some of the other full-length albums that this project has put out. And I gotta say, this band won me over. This is, like I said, these guys are from Finland. I believe this is their second full-length, and yeah, their approach to black metal is somewhat very entertaining and intriguing. There's a bit of a punky rock black and roll sort of feeling going for it when it comes to the riffs, to the way the shrieked vocals are, just to the presentation of songs. This is just an overall solid and entertaining package, and it goes without saying most of this band's stuff is done in their native Finnish language, so honestly I wouldn't have a clue as to what they're talking about, but judging by the imagery and what this band seems to be about, seems to be anti-religious, anti-Christian, anti-Islamic, anti-whatever. Yeah, pretty much tried and true material for black metal. But yeah, when it comes to Ruho Kantaja, this is a very solid and entertaining record, and I would definitely recommend giving this album and band a shot if you don't mind a little bit of anti-religious sketch in your life. But anyway, here's the front cover. Love this artwork. I believe Maxime Takardi did this artwork. Very beautifully drawn, very impressive. Back cover, you have the once again, you have the band logo. This is a glossy cover, by the way. Track listing, Darker Than Black, Anti-Islam Front, Merchant of Death. Here comes the printed inner sleeve, and of course this is another selling point of this particular record, is this printed inner sleeve here. Brutal fuck off to the hordes of Allah on the front of this inner sleeve, and the back cover you have, back of the sleeve you have the lyrics all in the native Finnish language, band members and credits, and I believe this comes on a standard black vinyl, basic black vinyl, standard labels aside. Sound quality is good as usual on this release, but yeah, Saloon Viholinen are one of a kind, and with an album like this, I definitely think they have greater things to follow up upon. So yeah, Saloon Viholinen, Ruho Kantaja, check this one out. Next up, we have a 2014 release, and honestly, I never thought in my wildest dreams I would ever have a record from this band, considering how seemingly inaccessible a lot of this guy's projects are. Pretty much anytime anything Ancient Records releases are announced, something is going to fly off the shelves, whether it be bought internationally or through the States. And this project in particular, thanks to a good buddy of mine, I was able to get some of his releases through Hell's Headbangers, and one of them in question is the one I'm about to show you now. This is a... I think I'm gonna try to pronounce this as best as I can here. I'm sorry. AZELISASSATH? AZELISASSATH? It's one of those two. Yeah. AZELISASSATH, in total contempt of all life. Fuck, that's a mouthful. But yeah, anywho. This is released in 2014 through Ancient Records, and this is one of the many, many projects of a guy by the name of Swardadopaz. That's another name I'm going to try to... I might fuck up pronouncing, so I apologize for that, but yeah. He goes by AZELISASSATH in this band, and he's involved in so many other different projects in addition to running Ancient Records, like Nifahalen, Bekath Nexamu, Trolldom, Mystic, just a lot of those bands. And while I think a lot of those bands in particular are really great, AZELISASSATH is something I really enjoy a lot because it has that traditional Swedish style sound of black metal. Of course they're from Sweden, of course, but the sound is very true to the roots and traditional. That's what I enjoy the most about this particular project of his. And I'm getting a lot of those early Kraft vibes with a release like this. Listening to songs like Malignant Soul Rape, A Monument of Death, Earth in Blazing Fires. It's just some really, really dark and misanthropic content. Pretty much stuff you're accustomed to and familiar to hearing when it comes to Swedish black metal. But AZELISASSATH does tremendous wonders here with this album. This is probably my favorite release out of the 3 full lengths the AZELISASSATH project put out. But I still think it's very, very awesome to listen to. And yeah, here's the front cover. I love this album cover a lot. It's very, very straight up black metal. I love the approach going for it. Back cover, track listing, a lot of familiar black metal propaganda here. Pure Swedish black metal. Black metal is total hatred for everything, no compromise, fuck your trends and friendly hippie black metal scene, fuck you. Yeah, love that. Gatefold with band photo here, lyrics, and comes on a standard black vinyl. Dig the labels here, especially this side B label right here. Very, very cool. Yeah, this band's name is a bitch to pronounce, but I try my best. But yeah, like I said, this is my favorite release from this project, and hopefully I will get my hands on the second full length, because that's really the only one I need. I have the first and third full length, I just need that middle one. Hopefully there'll be a vinyl version that'll be easy to get and is affordable, so yeah. AZELISASSATH, in total contempt of all life. Now I'm not going to pronounce anything this band says anymore. Okay, we're going to go back to Finland now for this next one, and I'm not sure if this is a 2017 release or a 2016 release, but I feel like I've joined the cool kids club when it comes to this particular album in question here, and the more I listen to it, the more fun and the more entertaining it gets. This is White Death with their self-titled album. Yeah. Self-titled record. Werewolf Records put this out. And pretty much this band had a lot of great things writing for it. I believe they put out a 7-inch EP not too long ago, and once I had heard some songs from the full length, I was immediately intrigued and interested as to how this band was going to approach black metal. There seems to be a little bit of a folky vibe and feeling going for a release like this, but once you get in closer with the music and the sounds and the vibes of this album, you're just in for a seriously great time. I just love how unbelievably catchy this album is. Listening to songs like Immortal Hunter of the Moon, Goat Emperor, Cunt, and you can't tell me that the riffs on White Death's Power don't get stuck in your head. I think that's the type of musical ideas that a band like White Death goes for, and with that particular closing song, it's just absolutely entertaining to listen to. And yeah, I honestly think this is an album that deserves a lot more love and attention than it gets, and if you're into like straight up raw rocking styles of black metal, White Death is a band for you to be checking out. So anyway, here's the front cover. Love the matte finish and love the texturing on the logo here. Very badass. Back cover with track listing and credits. Werewolf Records right there. Yeah, it comes with a poster. It's a pretty badass poster. Dude blowing fire. Don't know which band member this is in question, but yeah, you get where I'm going here by showing you this. Very, very cool. And there were two different variants of this. I believe there was a silver gray variant, and the version that I got is on a standard, standard black vinyl. White Death here. Werewolf Records logo on this side. But yeah, this is such a badass album. So badass to listen to. Love the catchiness. Love the high screeched vocals. Love the riffs. There's just so much killer stuff on this album. But yeah, this is White Death with White Death. Check it out. And we're moving into classic black metal territory with these last two. I picked these up from a friend of mine who was parting ways with some records. My good buddy Mitch from Sylvan Screams Analog, and going through what he was parting ways with, there were a couple of things that I had my eyes on, and some black metal records that I had been wanting to add to my collection for the longest time. And this first one right here is an absolute masterpiece of Greek Hellenic black metal. This is Rotting Christ with Thy Mighty Contract. Yeah. This is originally released in 1993, and of course, as many of you know, Rotting Christ are, in my opinion, one of the forefathers and one of the most well-known bands to come out of Grecian black metal. Very, very influential. It's crazy to know that in the early beginnings of this band, they had a little bit of that grindcore sort of tinge, but later on, evolving in their sound, they adapted the more traditional Hellenic style of Greek black metal. And with an album like Thy Mighty Contract, to albums like Non Serviam and several other albums later on throughout this band's body of work, it's just really, really phenomenal stuff. And all these decades later, I still believe a record like Thy Mighty Contract holds up very well. Listening to songs like Transform All Suffering into Plagues, Figment Thy Gift, Dive the Deepest Abyss, just some seriously killer songwriting and lyrics going on with a release like this. This felt like a true and genuine black metal record, and like I said, I still feel this holds up very nicely all this time later. So yeah, here's the front cover. Very recognizable sort of album cover art going on here. Back cover here with band members, credits. Peaceville Records put this out, so you know they're always doing tremendous jobs with their vinyl records. Comes with an 8-page booklet featuring the album cover, and you have liner notes. You got some liner notes from Sakis. You have a little foreword by Rune Eriksson, Blasphemer of Immortal, Mayhem and Aura Noir, excuse me. Got some more interviews and band member photos, more credits and classic archival stuff, and you've got lyrics and stuff on this particular side of the booklet. And yeah, this comes on a nice heavyweight black vinyl, side A. Side B here. Tremendous job done here with this record, but yeah, I am very pleased to own Probably one of the most important albums to come out of Rotting Christ's discography. Of course, Rotting Christ are a pretty big deal nowadays, playing a lot of live shows in the US and internationally, and their sound may be a little bit different nowadays, but their classic stuff is definitely where it's at for me. So yeah, here's Rotting Christ, Thy Mighty Contract. Go check this one out. And this last one has been something that I've been wanting to add to my collection for quite a long time now. And considering this band is set to put out a brand new full-length in 2017, I figured it would be best to revisit some of their more classic material. And one of their more classic full-length albums got a vinyl reissue treatment last year, and I'm very happy to own this. This is Satyricon with Nemesis Davina. Yeah. This is originally released in 1996 through Moonfog Records, and this is the third full-length from Satyricon. These guys are based out of Norway, and this band has a very, very legendary sort of standing when it comes to classic Norwegian black metal. Of course, putting out two very amazing previous full-lengths with albums like Dark Medieval Times and The Shadow Throne. This album is very special in its own sort of ways, considering that Nocturnal Culto of Dark Throne plays music on this record. And I think that an album like Nemesis Davina holds up quite well here when it comes to Satyricon's overall discography. It's straight up true to the roots Norwegian black metal, and I think this is a very solid album to listen to. The first three Satyricon records will always be the best to me. Later albums like Now Diabolical and Rebel Extravaganza are something different in their own right. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really feeling what Satyricon are doing nowadays, but I feel with albums like these to fall back on, I really believe they still hold a very important legacy in Norwegian black metal, and an album like Nemesis Davina is no different. Very memorable stuff to be listening to. Of course, you have memorable songs like Mother North, Immortality Passion, Transcendental Requiem of Slaves. Just a very solid album overall. I don't consider this my favorite. I don't know how I would put this in my ranking of Satyricon's albums. But yeah, Dark Medieval Times I probably would still say is my favorite of their early stuff. Nemesis Davina probably a close second. Maybe tie with The Shadow Throne, I don't know. Just great albums from this project's earliest works. So yeah, here's the front cover. Love this album cover here. Back cover, track listing. Napalm Records put this out. Love this gatefold. Yeah, very, very awesome photo of the band in question here. Classic 1990s black metal going on here. Comes on a printed inner sleeve. You have lyrics on this side. Credits on this side here. And heavyweight black vinyl for this one. Yeah. Very, very good job done here with this album and this presentation. I'm hopeful and optimistic that Napalm will consider reissuing the Dark Medieval Times and the Shadow Throne. Definitely something for the fans of the older era of this band, but yeah, classic Satyricon still rules in my opinion. And yeah, Nemesis Davina by Satyricon, check this out. And yeah, I'm going to conclude this video here. I don't want to get too tongue-tied up with everything I tried to pronounce in this video. If you happen to have heard or own any of these releases, definitely let me know what you think about it and how you feel about it. I'll leave you some links in the description box of some of the bands I talked about here. Have a great rest of your weekend. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks for checking out my channel. Until the next time, Army Help.